My name is David Allen Hale. I'm from southwest suburbs of Chicago in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I joined United States Marine Corps in 1999. I served for a little over 19 years. Um, During that time, I was deployed to Iraq in the beginning of the push of the war in 2003. And then I was back again in 2005, 2006. During my time in 2003 in the push, we actually had a Scud missile land in a chow hall. On the other side of that chow hall, thankfully it didn't explode, or I wouldn't be giving this interview right now today. And then back in 2006 in January, I took a mortar. It was about, I don't know, 50, 70 yards away. I can't really remember. I just remember the blast. Just didn't get no shrapnel, but just kind of got a lot of blast concussion from it. Knocked me on the ground, kind of dazed and confused, and don't really remember much but bright lights and loud noises, and my ears were really bad, and got up and went back to work like nothing ever happened, because that's what we do. Um, I was that was probably the start of really my injuries, my first really big TBI, and I didn't really recognize it. As I was saying, that's what we do. We just, I don't want to be sent back. I don't want to sent back home and be like one of those ones that.
You feel like you kind of abandoned everybody and
Yeah, I mean, with all your Marines, that's, you want to be there for them. So it was the start of my injuries, and I've had probably, I think I had somewhere between 15 to 17 concussions total throughout my time in service. And what they said is they just kept accumulating. And by the time I got in a car wreck in 2014. That was my last concussion, um, and that's when my health rapidly started deteriorating in my service time, and couldn't remember anything anymore. PTSD was getting really bad. Um, I was a pretty bad alcoholic, getting through some dark times, and then my lungs started having problems with my lungs, getting chronic PEs. My heart was having AFib, so I was passing out when any type of physical exercise. I would just pass out on the ground. Then all the pain from my neck, my back, my shoulders, down my legs was intensifying. Then my adrenal glands stopped working, so I had adrenal insufficiency, and all this was like I was being diagnosed constantly. Within about in 2016, everything just kept. Every time I go back to the doctor, diagnosed me something else, and it was at a point where I didn't really want to live anymore. They put me into the Wounded Warrior Battalion in Camp Lejeune, and did a lot of treatment there. They sent me to a lot of specialists. Got to go to Duke, UNC, and still didn't really figure anything out. Add another med, add another med, add another med. I think when I was retired and forced to retire in 2018, I was on 35 different meds, carrying oxygen tanks around, sitting in a wheelchair. And I was pretty angry after I retired, because I wasn't ready to retire. I mean, I was only 37 when I was forced to retire, and then I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do in life. But during my time, I also met my beautiful wife. I stood by my side. We've been married for 23 years now. We have 4 boys, David, Daniel, Derek, and Dustin, ages from 22 to 15. That's been by my side the entire time, pretty much in service and up till now. And I truly believe the only reason why I'm still here is because of them. And I know a lot of other Marines and military members, they don't stay. They typically run and go, and when things get rough, they just run, and she's been there the entire time. And thankfully for her, she nominated me for this ranch, and I'm forever grateful. Well, the first night I sat there, and this, you guys tell us, find the deer you want, and I'm like, I don't know, like I don't really know how to judge deer, and so I'm trying to study them, and I'm trying to learn about them. And I see one of the ones that always stick out is that 2-year-old with the orange tag. He said that's the ones that are off limits, and I'm watching him with the drop tine. I think the first day was the right drop tine. He come out, and it's hard to believe he's even 2. I'm watching him, and I also saw the buck, the big buck that actually ended up shooting. We saw him that first night, and I really liked him, but again, it was the first night. I didn't know what all deer I was going to see, and I was like, man, that could be my deer. He's one of the main ones I was watching, but he was kind of hiding behind a tree. He didn't really want to show us too much of himself. Second day, first morning, so we're sitting in a different stand, looking down, and again, deer are just coming out all over the place. We had, I remember, we had this doe was coming right towards us, and he's telling us to be quiet because we don't want to get the doe to blow, and she's studying us really hard, looking at us, trying to figure us out. She knew something wasn't right.
She's looking for any reason right now.
Just trying to get a sense of what we were and what we were doing there, and while at the same time we're trying to study these bucks coming by.
He's really symmetrical.
We did see the 2-year-old's twin. That's when we saw on this time, I believe it was the left side drop tine, the 2-year-old. Again, caught my eye. It's just 2-year-olds. They don't look like 2-year-olds to me. They're going to be an incredible deer in another year or two. Now the nighttime hunt's still fresh in my mind.
Been replaying that one over and over.
And just from the start, we got out there a little bit earlier. It's a little bit warmer, and it's a little bit slower. We're sitting there, and a lot of little fawns out there, some does, and then there's these 2 small bucks that were just hanging out there, just kept coming around. They just kept pushing all those does out. This one buck just didn't want any. He just didn't want any of them around that food, I guess, or just wanted to mess. Maybe he's trying to find himself a doe. He had a mind of his own. He's very uneasy though. I remember watching him. Everywhere he was looking. He was just stand off and he'd just sit there and stomp. Look and stomp. Stomp. And he kept chasing the green tag doe around. Stomp. He just kept stomping at her, and then finally, he kept scaring all the does away. He's like, man, you're scaring all the deer away. I want to bring more of the deer in. And we're still waiting, and then just out in the faint of the distance, I see a nice buck. All I can see is antlers. And he's just slowly walks, maybe, I don't know, about 150 yards or so. He's just right on the other side of the edge where I can't really see the body. I have a hard time seeing the antlers. I just see big antlers just slowly walk across. And then I watched him later, about 15, 20 minutes later, slowly walk back, and then made a left-hand turn and went away from us back deeper into the woods. Never got to see him again. And then I heard you guys shoot. So I was excited. I thought I was going to see Freak on the ground, see him up close, and then, still more does, still deer starting to move a little bit more. Bigger bucks started coming in. Some nicer, few mature bucks come in. So, we're getting pumped. I think it's getting near prime time, waiting for the big guy to come. And then it was around 5 o'clock, I think. And Ed's like, I got a gut feeling something's about to come out. I'm just watching the show anyway. So if something comes out, if not, then, I'm happy enough just watching all these deer come and go. And then all of a sudden, about 15 minutes goes by, and then there's like a big buck coming from the woods on the right side, from the bottom coming up. I can kind of see him just barreling through those woods like a boss. And I still can't really see, how big this buck is. You just see a lot of antlers. He's moving through those woods and the trees. You can't judge when they're moving like that. And so then he steps out, and I see him. I'm like, there he is. That's my buck. And so now I start getting set up. Adrenaline starts pumping a little bit. And as he comes out, he's bowling everybody away from the food. He's coming through all the deer like a boss, and comes all the way across. I start slowly getting ready to pull the trigger a little bit, and then because he's moving and getting all the deer in the way. There's a fawn in the way at one point, and he goes all the way to the left, and he kind of gets in the tree. I just about had a shot right there before he got to those trees, and then he's completely in those trees. So I had to pull up, and Ed says, just get out of the scope, relax a little bit, and then he turns around and he comes back right, and he's not moving fast, but he's walking. And I don't want to shoot while he's walking, so I'm watching him, and I'm hoping he stops, doesn't run off.
That's a big deer. I think that's the deer we saw yesterday. Hold on, take your time. Let him clear other deer. There's no rush. Whenever you're ready, but hold on, let him turn. You got a shot? Hold on, let's wait a second. Take a breath, let's let him come back out of the woods. He'll come back. Don't look through the scope, because you'll start getting buck fever. Alright, now get back on him. Watch that fawn. Meh. You got him. Good hit. That's a good hit.
I was worried about that tree because I was pulling left on the target.
Yeah?
So I was slowly squeezing. Yeah, I hit him.
Well, you didn't hit the friggin' tree. You hit the deer.
That adrenaline, now I'm shaking, pumping, like, I know I had to hit him. Just don't hit the tree. That's all I kept thinking. Don't hit the tree. And he slowly replayed that shot back. I'm like, yeah, I know I got him. That was a good shot.
I see that grin. I know you do. I saw him too. I saw that grin. I hate to tell you, we don't have ground shrinkage. It's only going to get bigger the closer you get. This ain't the backwoods of Mississippi. Pick that head up. Show it to me. Ho, 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 ho. Is that a beast or what? Give me a quick count. How many points has he got?
You counting every point?
Yep. If it's over an inch, it counts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25.
That's the one we saw yesterday. It's gotta be. This is
That's the exact same one we saw yesterday.
the one that I said I could see on my wall.
Yep.
I can't thank you guys enough for everybody at the ranch. I know there's so much stuff behind the scenes because this doesn't happen, you know, between a few people, between yourself, Corey, and your dad, Ed, your wife. I mean, she's phenomenal cook. I mean, I really felt like I was part of the family while I've been here.